Let's talk about business sense, or nonsense of business sense. You know, you might have noticed that, at your workplace, they're laying people off like crazy sometimes. Sometimes they're hiring like crazy. It just doesn't make sense. And you might think, with the cutbacks, maybe they're in trouble. And your hope is that they're going to collapse and then they're going to fail. And that's everyone's hopes, is that their company is just going to go to crap. Kidding. Anyways, no. They've been around forever. They've been doing it forever. They might have gone through a bunch of different name changes. They might have sold a whole bunch of times. But the truth of the matter is that they're there and they're still making money, and they keep making more money. And that's what makes sense to them, is making money. They went to college for this. And I don't want to knock anyone that went to college, but if you went to college, you're learning to be in a box. They don't teach you to be innovative. They don't teach you how to be creative. They just teach you how to live in a box, and they teach you their way, a certain way, which may or may not work, and half the time, it worked at a point, but things change. Businesses change. If they don't see a profit, or they're not seeing as much profit as they want, the first thing they start doing, or raising prices is probably the first thing. When they're like, we need to have an increase in our profits. Well, I have an idea. Let's raise our prices. Well, that has a negative effect, because then all of a sudden their sales go down. So they actually average out. So then they start going, well, we can't raise it any higher than we already did. So maybe we'll start doing cutbacks. So they cut back on supplies, they cut back on workers, they cut back on you, they cut back on raises. They start laying people off, they start firing people. The cutbacks always come from the bottom, because it's the people at the top who are controlling things, and they don't want to cut back on their end. They want to keep living the life that they're living. They don't care about you at the bottom. Half the time they don't even know who you are. You're just a number to them. You're not a face, you're not anyone important. So they cut you back. They went to school for this. They learned this. This is business nonsense 101. You cut back. They don't teach to be innovative. They don't say, hey, you know what? Maybe instead of trying to figure out how you can save money, maybe you should learn how to freaking make money. And this is common sense. You don't need to go to school for this. This is free. This is common sense. The people that started the business knew how to make money. They started the business and they made a whole bunch of money that now you can sit there and just maintain. But you can't figure out how to make more money. So you figure out how to save money, because you want to make more money, and you think saving money is how you make more money. Or raising the prices is how you make more money. No. Here's something. You lower your prices, you increase your customer volume. And then with an increase of customer volume, yes, you got to hire more people. Because if you raise the prices, you get a decrease in customer volume, and then you need to lower the volume of your employees. Which way is it going to be? Which way does it work for you? Do you want to make more money, or do you want to save more money and shrink your business? I don't know. I think that I would like to make more money and grow the business. Does that make sense? And, we'll talk about failed leadership later. We'll talk about how your managers are more like a firewall than leaders, and how the people at the top just don't get it. They don't. They just sit there, and even if they're at a desk or in an office or work from home, they don't get it. They're out of touch. Their kids are going to college pretty much for free. Well, not for free. You're breaking your back so that their kid can go to college and yours can't. I worked for a guy once, and his kids are in high school. They already have a huge college fund saved up. Like, his kids are not going to have to work, because the guy's rich, and he's going to send his kids to a college where they'll be able to go get a job, figuring out how that they don't have to work. Because if you think about it, that's what they do at the top, is they figure out how they don't have to work. If they actually spent their time working instead of figuring out how to get out of work, because that's the nonsense of business sense, is how can we make more money by doing less? Take for where I work, for example. My manager, and I know this because I used to be a manager, but on the time schedule, they only earn 4 hours. The other 4 hours, and they work, let's say they work 8-hour shifts. They work more like 9, or they're supposed to. But 4 of those hours are completely for free. That means if they're productive for that 4 hours, they will get 4 hours of free labor, which means that they can take on another guy for at least 4 hours of the day, because 4 of those hours are free. So it's a reward-based business. But you know what, a majority of my, not all of them, but a majority of my managers go upstairs their entire shift. They don't come down, they don't help us, they go upstairs. And I've been up there, like I said, I was a manager once too, and I've seen them go upstairs and just talk. Exactly what you think that they're probably doing is probably exactly what they're doing. They are up there talking. They go and they do whatever it is they need to do as quickly as they can, and then they sit on their butt and they talk with the other managers and waste everybody's time. They waste the company's time, and they waste our time, the associates. It's actually theft, but because all of them are doing it and all of them have each other's backs, who's gonna rat them out? Who? You? The second you try to say something, they team up on you and you're out the door. So it's a very hostile work environment where you have to keep your mouth shut. And then if you're one of these managers that actually worked hard, the other managers look at you as an outsider, and then they do what they can to make sure that you either fall in line or you are no longer a manager. And that is what I mean by managers are more like firewalls than leaders. And they don't understand, I don't know how it is at your work, but they don't understand that 4 hours that they get for free, that doesn't count, that if they were down there working and helping you out, that there would be another person that could be put on the schedule, because those 4 hours are free, and you just earned that person because you were down there working for 4 hours, and now you get to earn another person that can come down and help you out, and everyone benefits. But they didn't become managers because they wanted to work. They became managers because they don't want to work. They'd rather tell everybody else to work. And if that is in the middle level, the level that you get to see, the top level's like. The top level's even worse. And then at your level, you see that all these other people are like, well, you know what? I'm getting paid less and I'm doing more work. So then resentment happens. And then those people don't work, and then nothing ever gets done, and then the company needs to figure out, wait, we're losing money here, we need to cut back. No, you need to go to work. Nobody's gonna work for you if all you do is sit on your butt. Just because you call yourself the boss doesn't mean you are the boss. You work for your associates. Your associates are your boss. Your associates tell you what they need to do their job, and you do it. If you don't understand that, you have no business being a manager. You have no business telling anyone what to do if you don't know how to take orders yourself. And I'll tell you what, you're gonna go to college, and college is gonna tell you exactly what the Bible tells you. And the funny thing is that in college they tell you how the Bible's junk and God doesn't exist. Except everything they teach you is strictly right out of the Bible. It's amazing that God knew before man started putting people in schools and tried to teach them, this is what works. You know what? I found out that if you try to do something other than what the Bible says, and I don't want to get preachy, I don't want to talk about God here, but when you what the Bible wants you to practice, you will find that it works. And you don't need to go to college, because the Bible is right there. All you need to do is read the damn Bible. Because I've seen people in college and I've heard what they were saying, and I'm just like, do you know that that's straight from the Bible? They worded it different, but it's straight out of the Bible. But colleges are businesses too. Colleges need to make money, and they need to prove why they exist. And they're in league with the government and the state and all these other businesses that say you need this little piece of paper, and all that paper proves is that you are a good little servant and you owe a lot of money, and you are going to do whatever you need to do. You will shut up and get in line that pay off this bill that you probably didn't even need. That's what college is. I don't want to knock school. I want to encourage you to improve yourself, and sometimes you need to go to school for that. It's crap that you need to go to school for that, but it's crap that you need to go to work to make money and end up not having to do or have the time to do whatever it is you wish that you could do. You are living your life backwards. You're listening to the wrong people, and you need to know that nobody is the boss of you. Not some jackass at your job or some pencil pushing wiener. Not somebody that has a big mouth. Not me. You. You are the boss of you. You are at a job. They are paying you for your time. Why? Because they want to make everything equal. So they pay you for your time, not how much you are worth. Because if you were paid what you were worth and what you could produce, you would be rich. But the thing is that you got somebody else that probably can't produce as much as you can, and then jealousy happens, and then they're like, well, how can we fix this so everyone's happy? We're going to take away from the guy that's actually making us money his pay, and we're going to pay him exactly the same as the person that's costing us money. That way everything is equal, and we, the business people, make out. Because now you can produce a whole lot more than what you're actually earning. And if you have any sense, you realize this, and your work a lot less. And then the company ultimately pays. Because why make them a boatload of money when all they're gonna do is take that money away from you? You have a family. You have kids. You would like to send your kid to school too, just so that they can possibly not have to work as hard as you did, and that they can have a better life than you, because that's what we all want, is a better life for our kids. No matter how great of a life we had, we want our kids to have a better life, and these places take it away from us. Because no matter how hard we work, everything in their power to make sure that we know our place, we stay in our place, and they cut back from us. They don't see how they can benefit from us. They don't see us as investments. They see us as an expense. Well, I find them to be an expense, and I don't see any profit from them. All I see is that they cost me money and time, and I get very little in return. And that is the nonsense business.